Okay, so today we're going to learn about something new called the Pythagorean theorem. And we're going to spend the next several days working on everything we're going to do for the next test is going to focus around the Pythagorean theorem. And you may or may not have heard of that before, but this is how you spell it. And it has a weird name, and it's actually named after a guy named Pythagoras who came up with this theorem. And this theorem has to do with right triangles. And the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now I'll have to tell you what a, b, and c are before this makes any sense. If you are looking, and again, this is only applicable to right triangles. Now, if I'm looking at a right triangle, and it doesn't matter how it's drawn or which way it's turned or how big or small it is, but if I'm looking at a right triangle and I have three sides to a triangle, the two sides that form the right angle, the L, those are your A and your B. Those are called the legs of the triangle. And it does not matter which one is A and which one is B. That doesn't matter if you mix those up. It'll still be correct. Most people generally have the A be the smallest number and the B is the next largest number. But it doesn't have to be. The A and the B can be interchangeable. Now the C is very important because the C is always the side directly across from the right angle. So the C has to be the long slanted side, and C is always the longest side, always. It has to be. So make sure that C is always the longest side. So if they draw you a picture, it's really easy to pick out which ones are A, B, and C. If they don't draw you a picture and they just list the sides, then let the longest one be C. And then the next one going down would be B, and the smallest one A. Now, what we're going to look at, the first thing we're going to look at is to determine if I give you three sides, can that be the side lengths of a right triangle? Now, we're not talking about what we did on the last test where you had to tell if something could be the sides of a triangle. We're talking about can it be the sides of a right triangle. So if I gave you, for example, example 1, if I said, can the side lengths (5 centimeters, 12 centimeters, and 13 centimeters form a right triangle? Now, we're not wanting to know if it can be a triangle, but a right triangle, which is a special kind. And to be a right triangle, the Pythagorean theorem has to work. So we're always going to start with the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I'm going to plug in my numbers, 5, 12, and 13. And remember, 13 has to be the C. 5 and 12 can be A or B, it doesn't matter. But again, I always just go least to greatest. So 5 my A, 12 is my B, and 13 is my C. Now, it doesn't say that 5 plus 12 equals 13. It says 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. So what we're going to do after we plug those numbers in is we're going to square each of those numbers individually. And to square something, you can do that in your calculator, but to square something just means multiply it by itself. So we're going to do 5 times 5, that's 25. 12 times 12, that's 144. 13 times 13, that's 169. Now bring down your plus sign and your equal sign. Is 25 plus 144 169? And you can do that in your calculator or by hand, and you can tell it definitely is. So can the side lengths 5, 12, and 13 form a right triangle? The answer is yes. And this is my work to back it up and prove why it is yes. So we don't want to just guess and say yes or no. We have to back it up with our work. Okay. So that's the first part of the lesson. The second part of the lesson is if I give you a triangle that's a right triangle, and I ask you to find the missing length of a side, then what you're going to do is you're going to take and use the Pythagorean theorem and solve for whichever letter you are missing. So let's say you had 6 and 8, and we're wanting to solve for the missing side. So we know from our picture above, 6 and 8 are my A and my B. So I would start by writing down my Pythagorean theorem, and I would plug in 6 and 8 for A and for B. We don't know C, so I'm going to leave it blank. Now I'm going to square the ones that I have numbers for. So 6 squared is 6 times 6 is 36. 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. Bring down your plus sign and your equals C squared. Now on the left side, we can add like terms. 36 plus 64, we can add and get 100. On the right side, just bring down C squared. Now for the final step, if we're solving an equation, and we've done this earlier, if we're solving an equation that has C squared and we want to know what C is, then we do the opposite of square and we take the square root of both sides. So C equals square root of 100, and you can put that in your calculator, which is 10. So that's how you do that. Okay, so let's do one more example. Just like example 2, but let's do a triangle that has the sides marked, and let's do one where we're missing one of the legs. So if this is my triangle, and it's a right triangle, so I can use Pythagorean theorem, I'm going to start by writing down a squared plus b squared equals c squared. On my triangle, I noticed that 5 is one of my legs, so it's A or B. Doesn't matter which one you put. And then 13 is my longest slanted side. It has to be my C, and that is important. If you put that in the wrong spot, you'll miss it. Okay, so I'm going to let 5 be A and 13 be C, and I don't know what B is, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to square the numbers that I have. So 5 squared is 25, 13 squared is 169. Bring down my equal sign and my plus b squared. Okay, this time you have 25 plus b squared on the same side, and those are not like terms, so we can't add those together. So we have to solve this equation for b, and to do that we have to get rid of the 25 that's on the same side. So I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 25.
Honey, call your clerk to come check out, please.
Those cancel, and I bring down b squared equals 169 minus 25 is 144. And to do that, I've got b squared equals 144. To do the opposite of square, you square root. And that would leave b equals, the square root of 144 is 12. And so the answer is b equals 12. Always remember that anytime you do Pythagorean theorem, when you get to the bottom, the very last step has to be square root, because you're always going to have a square equal to a number, so you'll always have to square root to get that square off of the variable. And I'm going to let you try some now for yourself.